Yo! Why do they put Christmas music on here? Hello, hello. I'm just getting settled in. I hope my mic is a bit louder than the music, but you can still hear the delicious, delicious copyright-free music. Excellent. I'm trying to find pictures of Lucio Overwatch, because I'm not used to drawing him, and I'm gonna need to for this comic. So that should be my warm-ups. Oh yes, I should announce that I'm live on Things, too. He is adorable. Just gonna leave these things here to collect. Close up of his face. So how is everybody on this? Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Yes, it's Monday. I know time. Love to see it pass me by. I don't play it. I just consume a lot of art. I used to do a comic. I think one of my first comics, the first comic that I ever finished was a Black Watch Trio comic way, like a year ago almost now. More than a year. It was in the brightest yellow you could think of. And like this also neon purple. And those were the only two colors besides like, you know, the black outlines and stuff and the white. Needless to say, my coloring schemes have not improved and I am proud. There's the wrench. The wrench wench? No, that feels off. Oh, the neon. I need to do more neon. I think I've been basically kind of just like, I started off with a whole mess of black and white because I was just like, I don't want to mess with colors. And it was just lines and grayscale and everything. And now I'm just like, bring it on, every single color. But I think I've gone back. Although I haven't been finishing a lot of stuff right now, because mostly, like, I'm in the middle of a whole mess of works in progress, or like learning to do a works in progress, so I don't really have stuff to show. That's why I like doing these streams. They make me feel like I'm actually like putting something out there, at least for the week. Right? Okay, I think I'm trying to find my thing. Yeah, okay, I think I put the right URL. Yep, now to throw that link over on Tumblr. Oh yeah, that's been all over my dash. I know a couple people called it and it was pretty great. Good. The hardest part of this is remembering all the tags that I need to keep up with. Zara streaming. Yeah, I'll just leave that. Who cares? Let's just get to the drawings. Oh god. Oh yeah, okay. I was just like, why does my background look weird? There's a white background in here somewhere. Delete that layer. White background, not today. Send that layer to the shadow realm. What do you think I have? Like functioning eyeballs? Yeah, but they're not my main. I don't really care about them. No, that sounds mean. I do care of them. They have some really nice art, but I'm mostly over there on the Road Rat, or the Magenji, or just a whole mess of like found family stuff. Ugh, what brush is this? Oh, that's my paintbrush. More like paint blush. Is this also Christmas music? Why? Oh! Sorry. Hello, mouse. Let me turn on chat on the side. You're over on the Twitch, and everyone else is over on YouTube. There we go. No, you're good. You're good. I've got it turned on. I've turned it on just for you. Multi-platforming like a boss. Come back, pen pressure. Come back, please. I know you're there. And my pen is gone. Oh, wait, no. There we go. No, not really. I don't know. I'm never into ships with them now. It's just, you know, all the young folks, I'm all like, they're busy doing their revolution, so I never really like look for ship art of them. I'm over here on like the Silver Fox's side. Or the Mad Max gays. They've got my heart, you know? It just be like that at times. You've only been here for a couple minutes. You can't say that just yet. There should be like a minimum requirement that you have to listen to me for at least 10 minutes before deciding like yay or nay, or should I just mute it? He has these weird little thingies. My dream voice is to sound like that eerie cackle in the darkness as you explore an abandoned warehouse before like an axe hits the back of your head and you know nothing else. That's it. That's like my dream voice. I hope I'm hitting it, but you know, there's always tomorrow. It could happen in a loft too, so yeah, those are lofty goals. Abandoned warehouse by the docks is like the main, but you know, sometimes I can't get people into secondary locations. So, you gotta work with what you've given. Cackling? I don't cackle. Much. That's a lie. I can't even say that with a straight face. Hell yeah. Reaper 76. All that angst. It's so ripe. It's super great, especially if they're like either bitter exes or if they never got together until they were on the opposite sides of a war, which is great. I love Reap Fist though. I love that one too. So anything goes. Why did I do that? I don't want you gone, Mouse. Please, stay. Kick up your feet. Don't procrastinate. Follow along. Or at least rest your weary eyes. Listen to whatever the heck is going on right now, musically speaking. I don't quite know myself, but I'm kind of digging it. For some reason, I always thought he had a mustache. I never really looked closely. I'm feeling so disillusioned. He is tiny. You're right. Who is this teeny healer man? This seems like an ad song. I bet someone has used it as an ad, but it seems like the kind of jingling ad song, you know, with the sliding simple animation showing you what they have going on. I think I've created an ad like that. For Facebook probably, but you know. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. He's got 5. On the concept art. But I think he has 4 like on his actual model. No, there's 5. It's just around. Okay. False alarms. I don't think I haven't drawn chibi stuff in like literal years. I tried once, I think when I tried like to do an anime style a couple months ago, and then everything went wrong. It was like a hideous deformity. I couldn't, the proportions didn't work out, and I ended up crying. Well, not crying. Well, yeah, I was crying because I was laughing so hard. Like, the tears couldn't stop. But, what's up, Florzo? I know you're at a different time zone. You're on the cool time zone. How, the pressure that you must feel. I don't know how you do it, Flor. I don't think I need to learn to draw more than, like, his torso. I do need to catch, like, the side shape of his face. So. He has a big chin. Cute round nose. Big forehead, too. Oh, it's 8. It's 3 over here. It's in the afternoon. I think I was just saying it on Discord, but like for these weekday streams, I don't think the time is going to be like super set in stone. The Saturday ones, yeah, because you know, I really need to start waking up at least 8 a.m. on a Saturday. So I think I'll keep those. But these ones, like, you know, sometimes the time might be late just because I need to do something. Or pick up my brother. Or like, you know, suplex my brother after I pick him up. You know, these things take time. You're right. In exactly an hour, we get. Wait, if there is there someone on stream who's already at 4:20? Because then you get to live in the future and you get to blaze it earlier than the rest of us. You lucky ducks. Oh, Jin. Oh, Jin. This is a really hip-hoppy beat. Why do you capitalize my name? Are you gonna send me more things? Am I just gonna, like... Should I start panicking now? He's also got 5 little ridges things. Oh, that side thing on his ear is gonna give me trouble. I can already tell. Mechanics! They have things. They're not organic. I can't get away with bullshitting most of the lines that easy. Curses. But it looks cool when completed. I'm so sorry, Lucio. Overwatch. The suffering is good for the soul. Or so I hear. Or so other people who aren't suffering at that exact moment tell me. So I don't know how trustworthy that is. But it's mechanics, you know. I suffer, but I know in the end it's worth it to learn it just to draw more Portal fan art. That's the goal here, folks. Mechanics, technology, progress, it's just so I can draw GLaDOS. Alright, we'll be timing you. If you get here at 5 minutes, 2 seconds, we'll be very, very disillusioned, I guess. You know, if time were real. How does this hair, like, look from the side? Oh, it's, like, springy up. Come over here. You need to enjoy your spinach to go big and green like the Hulk. At least it's not in front of your salad, am I right? He has these huge thingies. They're so fun. I wonder if they're heavy. Wait, you have orange spinach? That sounds delicious. Hey. Hey. Don't say that about green. We're drawing a green boy. Don't say that. You'll hurt his feelings. That's just 'cause you're not thinking creatively. He is, isn't he? I really do like the shape that he came out as. His face is long. I think he has a bit sharper cheekbones that I'm putting here. He looks too pretty. I love this playlist. It just has random Christmas music. Well, it says inspirational music. That is... Oh god, I see a Hark the Herald Angels Sing in like the next playlist. Oh yes, I love Genji. He is my favorite toaster. He slices and bakes bread. And toasts. Alright, now... I know I drew... Lazarus. But do I remember how to draw him? Let me get some refs for Laz. Oh. Sorry, every so often you'll hear the weird... It's not me cracking open, you know, a cold one with the boys, or some glow sticks. It's just me snapping every single one of my fingers. Let's see. This seems also suspiciously like holiday music, but it's... I'll let it pass, you know. I'll let it be. Have a good rest. Oh. Come back. Did you not drop? There we go. Oh no, wait, this one, she doesn't have the hair. A Dr. Thunder, you mean? Or Dr. Lightning? Or Dr. Wait, what was the other one? Dr. Pibb? Or was it Mr. Pibb? It could go on and on, honestly. Like, did someone leak the recipe for it? Is that why there's a whole mess of imitations? Yes, but there's like different ratios of soda like that. And the specific amounts of cocaine they put into each one. You know, there's a science to this. You don't speak math. What comes before November? I'm trying to look through my files. Is it October? Yes, I think. Ooh, here we go. This one has the hair reference I need. Some more Christmas songs. Amazing. There's a lot of Christmas songs on here. Back up, back up. Artificial music. What does that sound like? Oh, it sounds soothing. That's what that sounds like. Is that how you remember? Is that how you remember it? You're right. Is there a turkey song? Either I've heard this song or I've heard like a million other songs like it, and now just my brain's filling it in. Nice. Oh. What? What, really? Oh my gosh. It's just, is it a wild peacock or does it live there? Do you know it? Is it magic? Can you collect his feathers and it will grant you a wish? These are the scientific questions that I require. Mysterious. I think I like the face. The clothes, I'll worry about that when I get to it. I just think I need to rough out the face. Oh, and get the panels together. Alright, I think that concludes it for my warm-up portion. Time for some more delicious horror, or however we stopped in the last podcast.
Hello, friends. This is Sunny Moraine, the writer and narrator and producer of this podcast. Welcome to Season 1B. I'm very excited to get back to this, and I'm actually getting this episode posted when I intended to. Thought I might have to post it tomorrow because I've been having continuing problems with my mouth, as I mentioned if you listen to the bonus short story that I posted recently. They are better. I was a little worried about that, but they seem to be improving, even though they're not cleared up yet, so fingers crossed that that will continue to improve, and at some point it won't be an issue at all anymore. I'm going to get to that in a minute. First, a very quick money-grubbing moment. I want to go ahead and remind you, or let you know, either way, about the Patreon show. It is at patreon.com/hotrockpile. I'm offering multi-tier rewards for people who subscribe at $1 up. Of course, things start getting really nice at the $5 level, and they proceed upward from there. If you want to help support this show, that is a really great way to do it. It's only a few dollars a month. Every little tiny bit helps, especially given that partly due to this mouth issue, I'm having to eat some medical bills. It's not awesome, although it's not, life-crushing. If you don't want to do Patreon, you can go to gonepodcast.podbean.com, and there's a donate button, and you can toss me a few bucks that way. That is also enormously helpful. If you're not able to support Gone monetarily, and, totally understand, money's tight for all of us right now, gotta pinch pennies, an incredibly important thing that you can also do, in fact, possibly even better than the Patreon, is to rate and review and subscribe on iTunes. Helps make this thing more visible, helps people find it. In addition to that, any word spreading on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, anything else that you use, word of mouth is all I've got for growing the audience of this, so I really, really depend on you. And thank you so much if you've already been doing that. A quick final word, the interludes that I've been posting in between main episodes, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I'm going to be folding those into the main episodes because they are becoming increasingly important to the main storyline. And also it gives me an actual week off between episodes, which is important right now because I'm trying to finish a doctoral dissertation. So, yeah. Okay, gonna shut up and get to the actual show. Thank you so much for listening. Listener response to this has been so great and so encouraging, and I'm very excited about the back half of this season. And without further ado, let's sink back into the darkness. I'm on a map alone. all the friends I've made, always with me. Everywhere I go, the drone of their conversations, their debates, their arguments. Seems like there's a lot they disagree on. Trying to sleep. Whispers in my ear and fingers combing through my hair. I slap them away, but there's never any point. Nothing I do makes any difference, remember? I might as well not even be here. I lie awake and I listen to them. They crackle and hiss like bad radio reception. Sometimes they're clear, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're singing their little tones over and over, rising, falling, transmitting a code I can't hope to understand. Looking up, watching them standing around me. Ring of shadows, darker holes gaping in their faces, pits of nothing. They move. They're always moving. Even if I could touch them, I don't think I could pin them down. I hate them, I guess. But they're also my company, you know? They're my companions, I suppose, since I'm not in a position to be picky. But they're my friends. Like the best friends, they refuse to abandon me, no matter how many things I throw at them, no matter how many stupid fucking bullets I fire, no matter how much I scream. They're so loyal. They're so much more loyal than you. When they finally let me die, if they ever do, I have a feeling they'll be the ones who watch me go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Jesus. Fuck. Miles an hour, fuck 40, fuck 50. Okay. I don't care anymore. All I see now is road. All I see now is just dark road. All I see now is just nothing. Just nothing. I'm pulled over again. I probably shouldn't be, but I just need to. I just couldn't drive anymore. I don't know how long I've been. It could be hours. I swear to God, I would just keep driving if I could. Oh, I'd just never stop. What happened back there? There's just so fucking many of them. God, they were everywhere. It was just this forest of shadows. I need to reevaluate everything now. And they can touch me. Oh, they can definitely touch me. But I don't think I can touch them. Tire iron, it just went right. It just went right through them. Like I wasn't even there. Well, I'm here though. No. I guess it's gone. If it was ever there. No, it was there. It's all here. It's all always been here. What if the only thing that's not here is me? No. No, I am not looking at this right now. I am not fucking looking at this right now. Holy shit. I've been driving for 3 hours. And I have been driving for 3 hours in the same direction. And I'm sitting here. Right now. And I'm looking right at my fucking driveway. I couldn't get away. I couldn't. It's foggy. Maybe I just drove in a circle. Maybe I just... Alright. Okay. I tried 3 more times. Same thing. Drove over an hour in one direction. I swear to God it was one direction. And I'm back here. Every time, I'm right back here. I can't get away. I can't get away. And they're out there. They're everywhere. Hello again. I was never supposed to do this. I was never supposed to be sitting here. I was done. I really thought I was done. And I'm back here. Flickering lights. I got no medication. I'm down to my last days. I got no new supplies. I have everything I started out with. I might as well just not have gotten in the fucking car. It was all for nothing. I'm trapped here. I'm trapped here with them. And they can come for me anytime they want to. And there are things moving in the corners of my eyes. Every time I look at them, they move away. Fuck. It's just... fuck it. Oh, you. Oh, no, I don't even care. I just don't care. Why does it even fucking matter? You know what the best and worst thing about human beings is? We're very adaptable. We can get used to just about anything. We can live just about anywhere. People existing in the middle of genocides, plagues, natural disasters. You lose your shit. And then you just sort of figure out how to keep going. You just exist. We're good at that, even if we're not very good at anything else. I'm existing now. Just for funsies, I went out and I tried one more time. And it's the same thing. I can't drive away from here. I get past a certain point, I don't know what that point is, and I just end up right back here. I have a compass, a real one. I took that out just to make sure. Just to make sure of what I already knew. I got to be right again. I'm sitting here with the dark all around me. I can hear them. The whispering. It's still there. I think it might be louder. Even if it's not, I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not going to try and get away from here. That's a dead end. I'm here. And either I'm losing my mind or the world is losing its mind around me. I accept that. I accept the shadows. I accept the things I can almost see. I accept the things I can almost hear. I accept my own helplessness. I accept everything I don't know. I accept the things I do know. Because I do know some things. I know that this has something to do with that game. It has something to do with those notes. And it has something to do with my fucking wife. And I'm gonna find out what that is. With what I've got here. With my notes. I'm gonna go through them all. And if I can piece this together, I will. Because I don't just have my notes. I have her laptop. And it's locked. But I think I might know her well enough to get in. And if I can't, it doesn't really matter, does it? I've only got a couple days left. And after that, I've got some decisions to make, don't I? Can you have daylight without sun? I think you can. I think that's what I'm seeing right now. There is no sun. There's just this gradually increasing glow. It swells and it swells, and then it stops. And then it's almost bright for a little while, and then it fades again. I don't think there is a sun anymore. I think if the fog cleared, I don't even know if there would be a sky. I don't know if there would be anything. I'm not making any sense, am I? I think, given my situation, that's pretty rational. Why make sense when there's no sense to be made? I haven't had any luck with her laptop. I'm gonna go back in there and I'm gonna try again. But outside here, the shadows actually aren't as thick. They're all moving in there. I'm just trying to ignore them. It's not working very well, but it's not like I expected it to. Okay. Back we go. So in the interest of being thorough, I tried walking out. I don't know why I thought it would make a difference. I don't know why I thought I would be able to do it that way when the car didn't work. Maybe something to do with the metal in the car? The electronics? I don't know. I just thought maybe... Well, it didn't work. Like I knew it wouldn't. I wasn't really measuring distance. I probably should have been. I think I went maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. At some point I looked up, and there was my driveway. So... I can't get out of here. I'm stuck here. In the house and the yard. And maybe a couple miles in all directions. Maybe. And I'm thinking two things. And the first is that I can't get anywhere else. Because there just isn't anywhere else. And the other thing is, that's what I've got now. Is that what I'm going to have tomorrow? Am I going to keep having that much space? Am I going to keep having that much world? Everything is shrinking. The internet. I said I was starting to get 404s. I can't open anything now except search engines. And when I actually try and use them to, search for something, it doesn't even give me an error message. It's just this blank browser. It's just this blank screen. There's just nothing. I opened all the windows. You can hear the wind. It's getting louder. No, the thing about that, though, is I go outside and I listen to the wind, but I can't feel the wind. Like, none of the air around me is moving. It's just the noise. It's like I'm in some kind of a bubble. I can hear what's going on outside, but I can't. And there's just the fog. It's just nothing but fog. God. The lights are still flickering. They're flickering worse than they were. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have those. I think they're probably going to go out soon. I said I thought maybe I had a week. A couple days ago, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how long ago it was. Point is, I'm not so sure I've got that much time. I don't know how much time I have. I'm feeling like maybe it's not that much, though. I gotta get back to the laptop. I gotta try and get in there. If there are answers anywhere, in this house, outside of it, any of the places I can still get to, I think they gotta be in there. They just gotta be. I need them to be in there. I need just anything. They followed me home. I mean, either they followed me or they were just here. But they're here. I went down the hall to the kitchen, and they were just in there. Just standing by the stove, shaking around the edges. Their heads are like these spinning balls. Not balls. I don't know what they are. They're not moving. They didn't come after me. I just stood there and I stared at them. Then I turned around and walked out. I looked back and they weren't there anymore. But they're still here. They're all here. I can see them again out of the corners of my eyes. Just these little flitting movements like a moth. I turn my head and they're gone. But they're not gone. There's the wind, but there's not just the wind. There's something under the wind. I'm walking down the hall, my hands on the walls. It's like I can feel thunder in the distance. Or like my fingertips are touching this huge chest. And under the breastbone I can hear a voice, trapped. They're not coming for me. They're not trying to touch me. But they could. They could do it anytime they fucking wanted. The tire iron didn't work. Like I said, it just went right through them. I gotta see if I can find something that can work. I don't know how, but I gotta see if I can figure out some kind of a weapon. Tried a few passwords. None of them were working. And at some point it occurred to me, this is not a fucking movie, right? Like, I'm not gonna find a word or a phrase and just type that in, and this little box pops up, this happy green box, and says, access granted. That's not gonna happen. That's not how people do passwords. Certainly not people who have the kind of work that she does. It's gonna be letters and numbers and punctuation and shit. I'm never gonna be able to guess it in a million years. That was wishful thinking. It's all just wishful thinking. What do I do besides keep trying, though? Sitting here, looking at it, thinking, she never took this laptop out of the house. This was her home laptop. She never took it to work. She never took it on trips. Everything she did here with it stayed here. She'd leave and it was just me and it. And I get why she password protected it. You password protect everything, but I know her passwords. She told me her passwords for just about everything she's got. Because she trusts me, right? And I trust her. She's got all of mine. But she never gave me the password for that. And I never thought to wonder about that because it's her work. I told her I wouldn't ask her about that. But she locked that laptop. Like what? Did she not trust me? Did she think the curiosity was going to eat me alive and I was going to just crack and go rooting around in there? Find something I shouldn't see? If there's stuff in there that she needed to lock away from me, stuff in there that I wasn't supposed to see, what would have happened if I saw it? What is she hiding? I thought we trusted each other. I thought we knew everything about each other. And the stuff that I wasn't going to ask about, I wasn't going to ask about. But she trusted me not to do that too. Now she's got this thing, and I know there's something in there that I need to see. And she didn't want me to. I thought she trusted me. Well, clearly she didn't trust me that much. And I'm starting to think, she didn't trust me enough to be straight with me. If she didn't trust me enough to tell me something important, something that might explain all of this, I mean, pretty clearly, I couldn't totally trust her, could I? I was wrong about the password. It was just one word. Not even in capital letters, just a word. So that kind of puts a different spin on some stuff. It's a total freak thing that made me think of it, but honestly, it was so obvious I should have thought of it before. I was going back through my binders, my notes, again, for like the millionth time, and something fell out, and it was just a list of names. And I sat there on the floor for a minute, just staring at it, trying to think of what it was. And then it hit me. The game, the sequel that we never made. We did have a list of names for it. They were just kind of playing around with some ideas. I was seeing my wife at that point, and I sent her the list, and I asked her what she thought. Most of them were stupid. But there were a couple that she liked. The same ones I liked, of course. So I tried a couple of those. And the one that we both settled on as our favorites, of course, that was the one that worked. Ascent. Like, to rise. Ascent. So I typed that in, and that was it. I don't know what I expected. Some kind of dialogue box pop up. Congratulations. Here are all of the answers that you were looking for. In very clear and unambiguous terms that even an idiot like you can understand. There's nothing. Just your desktop. A few files. Some folders. I said it was her home laptop. As far as I know, she pretty much just did work on it, though. She had another laptop for personal stuff. And it doesn't look like there's actually a whole lot on it. I started going through it. Some of the stuff I found was just what looks like some legal documents. There's some forms. None of it seems really pertinent. I don't really understand it, but I think I can disregard it. But there's some other stuff. Looks a little more technical. I'm going to look through it, but, it's occurring to me. I didn't understand what she did the best of times. Back before she got this job, and she was talking to me about some of the stuff that she was interested in, and the stuff she had her degree in. She tried explaining it to me. It was so far beyond me. So if what's in these files is anything like that, how am I going to make any sense of it? Even if it is some kind of an answer. Even if it is something I could use. Am I going to understand what the hell I'm looking at? Is it going to help me? Am I just going to sit there staring at it? Like it's this cipher I don't have the key for? That's all what ifs. I can't think in terms of what ifs. Not right now. Not when all the lights are flickering like this. Not when I don't even know how much more light I've got. Not when the shadows are still moving in the corners. I'm not looking at those. I'm not looking at them. I'm not talking to them. They're not there. I can't do anything about it, so they're just not there. The only thing that's there, the only thing that's real, is what's right the fuck in front of me. Right. So, got some reading to do. Alright, I've been through about half of what's on the laptop. It's like I thought. There's a lot of calculations, there's a lot of math. Fucking awful at math. There's some diagrams, there's some formulas, I guess that's what they are. There's a lot of shit I don't understand. But here and there, there's phrases, there are things that I do recognize, even if I don't really know what they're about. Like there's some stuff here about superstring theory and quantum cosmology, quantum field theory. These are words I know, but I don't know what they mean in this context. Inflationary theory, too. It's... kind of scrolling through it. There's stuff about branching and orthonormal Everett worlds. What the fuck's an Everett world? And if I had the internet, I could just look it up, but maybe we have a lot of books. Maybe it's somewhere in there. Where would I even start looking? Everett worlds, spin states, quantum decoherence. I don't understand any of this. How is any of this useful to me? I really tricked myself into thinking that this might be helpful. What it does tell me is that there's something here. Even if I don't understand it, even if I don't know what it means, there is something fucking here. If she was going to make her laptop that easy to get into, even if she was going to lock it, she could include some kind of fucking readme. Something like, explain it to me in terms I can understand. She did that a few times when I asked her. Because, I did ask her. Not about work, but general stuff. I have a lot of social anxiety, but something that I discovered when I'm in a situation where I have to make small talk and I got no fucking choice. If you find out what people are interested in, stuff that makes them feel smart, and you ask them and you get them talking, they like that. And they'll just talk. And then you don't have to talk. You can just listen and look interested. They like you when you do that. So I did that with her. I thought she would like it. And she did. I was right. She got to talk about the stuff that she knew all about, and I didn't. And she got this little smile on her face, like, "You're so cute, asking about this. Look at you. You're just so adorable." I liked that smile then. I did. I thought it was nice. I think about it now, and I'm not so sure I like it that much. If she was here right now, and I could just ask her straight up, "What does this shit mean? What weren't you telling me? What don't I understand? Make me understand it." And she'd get that little smile on her face, start talking. How many times did she smile at me like that? How many times did she look at me and know that there was all this shit that she knew, and I didn't? How did that make her feel? She'd go to work, go to this job, this big important job. She'd come home to her little wife, who stayed in all day and made games and vacuumed and did the dishes and did the laundry. It was perfect. It was perfect for her. And she came home just knowing shit, never sharing. And I promised not to ask, and I didn't. I told myself over and fucking over that that was good, that I liked it, that I was happy. I really did think I was happy. But if she was here right now, and I told her to explain this, and she got that smile on her face, I swear to God, I'd just like to fucking pull back and... No, I'm not gonna think like that. I'm not gonna think like that. There's no point in thinking like that. It's not gonna get me anywhere. It's not gonna get anything done, and it's not gonna make this shit any more comprehensible to me. Maybe if I just read the rest of it. It's all dark out. I'd still hear the wind. I haven't been out in the hall in a while. I know what's out there. They haven't come into the room yet. If I stand by the door, I think I can hear them moving up and down, like cloth on the floor, like curtains on the wood. Maybe they really are just ghosts. Maybe everybody really did die, and that's what this is. No, either way, fuck them. Might as well finish what I started, right? You know how number stations work? It's pretty ingenious, actually. You have this shortwave radio signal. There's some kind of tone or song or something to indicate that this is the station you're looking for, Mr. or Miss Spy. So some of them get their names. Swedish Rhapsody, Lincolnshire Poacher. There are the notes, the tone, then there's the message. Then it repeats. The message is the code, and the code is linked to something called a one-time pad. If you're a code-breaking nerd, which I am not, the details get kind of technical, but basically, it is like its name. It is an encryption technique that you use one time. It's never repeated. It is basically unbreakable. So if you're just some rando listening to shortwave radio, it's not going to mean anything to you. You need the pad. You need the pad to make any kind of sense of it. And once you get the message and you decode it, the pad's useless. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just a bunch of numbers. For that one time, it makes sense. And if you miss that one time, nothing ever makes any sense again. I'm so fucking stupid. I actually thought this was the one place it couldn't get to me. It's in the houses. It's probably on the street. But I thought it couldn't get me here. It just happened. I don't even do anything when it comes anymore. I just wait for it. I get through it. It's over. Sitting on the study floor, the binders all around me and the laptop in front of me. I've been there pretty much all fucking day. I sat there and I waited it out. And at some point I looked around and the binders were gone. And the laptop was gone. And it just stopped. And yeah, they're still gone. I'm gonna get up in a minute and go look for them, but I already know where they're gonna be. The binders are gonna be on the shelf. The laptop's gonna be on her desk. I know these things because I'm looking around the study now. And it's so neat. I don't know when it was last this neat. Everything's put away. Everything's in its right place. It's like she and I tidied up. And then we just walked away. And I know what this is because I run my hand across the desk and I look at my fingertips. And there's dust. I haven't been here in weeks. Whatever I do, the next time this happens, I won't be here again. I might as well not be here at all. I might as well be gone. But them, the things standing in the doorway right now, fucking looking at me, they're not gone. They might be the only things that aren't. Hello friends, welcome and happy Halloween. This is Sunny Moraine, the writer and narrator and producer of this podcast, and I have actually succeeded in getting this up a day early. I normally would have posted it on Wednesday, but I figured, hey, it's Halloween, it's a creepy podcast. Makes sense to post it today if I possibly can, and I could, yay. Welcome to episode 7. Before we get to it, I want to go ahead and do as the McElroys say, and real quick dip into the money zone. If you enjoy this podcast, if you want to help me keep making it, especially if you want to help me get to season 2, which at this point I do intend to do, it is hugely helpful if you support it on Patreon. That's patreon.com/hotrockpile. If you want to shoot me a couple of bucks a month, I have some tasty rewards. You can take a look at those. Among other things, I'm offering a behind-the-scenes episode, which I'll be posting a little later today. But there's a lot of other fun stuff. Take a look, see if anything tickles your fancy, and like I've said before, it's just me here. I have no help with this. I'm doing it all myself. It takes up a fair amount of work, so anything that you give me helps me justify the amount of time I put into it, among other things, and that is super helpful. If you prefer to not do Patreon, you can go to gonepodcast.podbean.com, and there's a donate button that takes you to PayPal, and you can go ahead and send me a couple of bucks that way, and it's hugely appreciated. If you want to support the podcast in a way that is not monetary, the best thing that you can do is rate, review, subscribe on iTunes / Apple Podcasts, or whatever the hell they're calling it now. Anything that helps make this more visible is probably the best thing you can do, possibly even better than Patreon or PayPal. I've got no budget for advertising. I depend entirely on word of mouth, which means I'm depending on you. So if you want to pay me back for some free entertainment, that's the way you can do that. One more bit of housekeeping. I'm still honestly not sure whether this is going to go for 10 or 11 episodes. I will be figuring that out in the next couple of them. As of right now, we're due to be wrapping up in December, and I'm hoping there will be no more than a couple of months gap between the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2. So just stay tuned for more information regarding that. I'll let you know as soon as I can. So yeah, I'll shut up now. We'll get to the episode. Again, happy Halloween. I really hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, let's return to the darkness. I found a flower yesterday. I know, I was surprised too. Fact is, I haven't seen any in a while. I don't know if it's the season because, shit, I don't know what season it is anymore. Or if it's the light, and how there isn't a fuck of a lot of that these days. But I've been going and going, and there just haven't been any. Until there was. It took me a while to figure out what color it was. It's not like I don't still see color. I see it all the time. But it's not like it used to be. It's black. It's bleeding out. And I find myself losing a grip on all those names we learned on the wheel in preschool. All those things we've always known. Turns out they're so easy to lose. What kind of flower was it? Does it matter? I crouched down there and looked at it for a minute or two. I was trying to get my damn head around it. I reached out and I touched it. Petaled silky as a transient. I brought my fingertip up close, and it was dusted with gold. Pollen. It was pollen. I used to have the worst fucking allergies. There are no bees anymore. If the dark doesn't kill these things, will they eventually just die on their own? How long do I have to wait for the collapse of this ecosystem? How long do I have to wait for the collapse of this entire world? Will it collapse? Or is it frozen under all this dust, forever on pause? Nothing living or dying at all. To be honest, that would explain a lot. You probably think I left it alone, don't you? Gave it one more tender brush with my fingertip. Got up, left it to whatever life it has left. No. I tore that motherfucker up by the roots. I tore it up, and then I tore it apart. I ripped it to shreds. I thought about pissing on it. Because fuck that. Fuck all that color. Fuck it for making me think more about before than I already am. Don't worry. Tomorrow it'll be right back where it was. So it's not like it even matters. I can't believe I actually thought this thing could fucking help me. I actually thought that. Get over your fears, confront them, and you get some kind of victory. And then things get better. I got it into my head that it was some kind of milestone. I crossed it. There'd be something else on the other side. Yeah, fuck that, right? I'm standing here and looking at it. It's only twilight now. I don't know how many more days I have, but this is all there is now. I'm looking at it in the fog, in the shadows. It looks like this animal. Like this big dead elephant or something. It's just as useless as one. I could still get into it. I could still drive. I could try again, even though I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck everything. What did it get me? Yeah, what did you get me? What was the point of you? What was the fucking point of you? What's the point? Flickering's giving me a headache. It's worse. I know it's worse. I don't know how much worse. I'm not measuring these things. God, it's giving me such a fucking headache. I really am close to just turning it off. The flashlight isn't flickering as much. It is some. I don't even know if it's the same thing that's making the lights flicker. But it might be better. Candles. I have those. Candles. What would happen if I set fire to the house? What would that do? What would happen if I set fire to all these houses? I mean, I could do that. There's nobody to stop me. It's not like they're coming back. It's not like they're doing me any good. That might I don't know. That might be fun. Alright, so listen to this.
8, 5, 4.
And this. And this.
3, 6, 4, 3, 8.
And this.
2, 1, 1.
Yeah. It's not every station. There's a lot of stations that are just static, but it is those so far. Number stations are just supposed to be transmissions to intelligence agencies. That's all they're supposed to be. There's nothing too mysterious about them. They're just human signals about human things. Except what if they're not? I saw a movie once where they weren't. One of them was actually Swedish Rhapsody. One of them was some kind of herald of this disembodied, monstrous alien intelligence that would possess you and turn your eyes all black and shit. It scared the hell out of me. I mean, it was one of those movies where you watch it and you think, this is bullshit. I'm not scared at all. And then later, when the lights are out, it's all you can think about. At the time I watched the movie, that actually kind of took me out of it. Swedish Rhapsody. Because, I mean, I knew what it was. You're not going to convince me that it's this alien intelligence when I know perfectly well what it is. Right? We know what those are. We think we know a lot of things. But I don't know. There's these. There's no TV. There's no internet. There's no internet now. There's no cell service. But there are these. These human signals about human things. Yeah. Sure. Emergence and entropy. Those are two words that show up in here a lot. Emergence and entropy. Now, see, thing is, I know what those words mean. Use them all the time. I mean, not all the time. How many occasions in a day do you have to use the word entropy? You know, on average. But I know what they mean. Except I don't. They show up over and over again, and I don't. Wave function collapse and entropy. Quantum decoherence and entropy. Inflationary theory and emergence. Emerging and falling apart. Over and over. Emerging. Falling apart. I still haven't been through all of these. Been through a bunch, though. I would say there's nothing, and there really isn't, but I'm beginning to get a sense of something. Something more than I had, which was just a sense of something. This wasn't an accident. All of this. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mistake. This didn't just happen. She knew. She knew it was coming. I don't know if she did it. I don't know if she's responsible. But she knew. The bitch knew. I know I must have called her that before, but I can't think of one. I love poetry. I don't know very much about it, but I know what I like. You know, like how some people like wine. I'm not a poetry hipster. There aren't esoteric, mostly unknown poets that I'm into. I guess I'm predictable. I don't think I like anything that would shock anybody. I like Yeats. William Butler Yeats. I like The Second Coming. There was a time when I think I knew all of it by heart. Could have gotten up in front of anybody and just recited it. Really, anybody. Just kind of slipped into the pattern of the words, and after a while you stop thinking about who's in front of you. And you just think about the rhythm, cadence. There's the part that people come back to all the time. You know, things fall apart. The center cannot hold. That's entropy. Just the natural inclination of things to fly apart in all directions. The natural tendency of structures and patterns to break down. Patterns emerge from chaos, but they always fall apart again, and who's to say that we aren't just seeing the patterns we want to see? There's, part about the blood-dimmed tide, and, of course, there's the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. That's relevant. Fuck, that's always relevant. But there's this other part I didn't think about as much, but it popped into my head earlier, and now I'm thinking about it all the time. It's the very end. It's, the darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. That feels right. 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare. This isn't real, what I'm in now. None of it's real. But it is. Because when you can't get out of something, then that reality is all that matters. In this house, where I haven't been in so long, with the shadows whispering in the walls, and the lights just on the edge of going out, this is a nightmare. Here's the question, though, and it's the question you always ask sooner or later when you're in a situation like this. It's a nightmare. Yeah, okay. Is it mine? Hear that? Wind's picking up, or what I'm calling wind. I still can't feel it when it touches me. But it's not just me. I can't believe I didn't notice this before, but it's not moving anything. Like the leaves, the wind chimes I've got hanging in the tree by the patio. Just for the sake of, again, being really scientific about this, I put some paper on the ground, watched to see what would happen. It didn't move. The air out there is completely still, except it's not. Sounds more and more like we're in the middle of some kind of a storm. Hell, maybe we are. I found something else. As far as I know, it has nothing to do with any of the other stuff I found on the laptop. I definitely don't know how it would connect to quantum mechanics of any kind. There's some stuff in here about infrasound. I don't really understand the context in which it's showing up, but I do know what infrasound is. Or at least, I kind of do. Because at one point it was showing up in some of the stuff that I was reading, and as with the number stations, I was interested, so I looked it up a bit. It's super low frequency sound. It's below the level of human hearing. But we can feel it, even if we can't hear it. We can detect it on some level. Animals can, too. It's supposed to be one of the things that allows them to sense incoming natural disasters. The things that, freak them out when there's an earthquake coming or whatever. But with human beings, it's different. When we hear it, it does things to us on a completely different level. It makes us feel things. It can make us afraid. It can make us feel uneasy. It can make us feel like there's just something seriously wrong on some level we can't quite put our fingers on. As far as I can remember, people who've been exposed to it report feeling almost as if something supernatural is happening around them. There's some suggestion that it might be responsible for some ghost sightings, kind of in the way that gaslighting in a house used to have something to do with that. It makes us feel things. It makes us feel like what's around us isn't reliable. And it may make us see things. So, of course, you know exactly where my brain is going with this. I've been sort of operating under the assumption that this is not a psychotic break. I mean, you kind of have to do that at some point to operate. You can't just go through life assuming that none of what you see is real. And Jesus fucking Christ, it feels real. But what if it's not what I'm seeing? What if it's what I'm hearing? I mean, that doesn't... How would that even work? Like, what are they... Were they fucking around with that somehow, and I'm in some kind of a blast radius? I mean, I've heard some stuff about potentially something like infrasound being used as a weapon, but I mean, as far as I know, it can't do this. I don't know that it can't do this. For all I know, it absolutely can do this. Some kind of transmission. And it just broke something in my head. I can't. Fuck. And I've got no way of being sure. There's no way I can test this. It's just more knowledge I can't do anything about. I'm gonna start. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so I just spent the last 15 minutes making a list of everything I can think of. I mean, not a detailed list, but a list. Nothing here is not weird, but a list of the biggest things. If they ask me to make a list of all the shit that doesn't make sense. Okay, everybody is gone. There's that. There were animals. They disappeared too, so there's that. There's what happens at 12:01. There's the fact that it's dark and getting darker. There's the fog. There are the lights flickering. There's the reset. There's how everything goes back to the way it was. Not even was. Everything goes back to some kind of starting point. There's the dust, which to me suggests that something is happening with time. There are the shadows. Yeah, I can still see those. I shut the study, but I still see them. There are the number stations. There's the fact that I can't get away from here. And there's the stuff on the laptop. And there's the shit about the game. How does this all connect? Because it does connect. It does. And it feels like it does. It feels like there's something that I just can't see it. There's a logic under all of this, and I can't see it, or hear it, or feel it. Games. Other worlds, other dimensions. But then where does the sound come into that? And what does the sound have to do with the rest of it? And what's going on with the radio? None of this makes any sense. God, I'm just so fucking tired. My whole life, everybody's told me that I was smart. Everybody's told me that I was capable of these amazing things. I've always liked to think I was some kind of a problem solver. I write games, I work on games, solving problems is supposed to be part of what I do. Solving story problems, solving logistical problems. I'm supposed to be good at that. But I've got this problem, and I've got these pieces, and they're just lying there on the fucking floor. I can't fix this. I thought if I just kept moving, I thought if I just put together a plan, piece by piece, like assembling a bridge as you're walking on it, I thought that would work. And I've got nothing. I don't know when I last slept. It's dark out. I don't know when there was last light of any kind. Maybe there isn't any. Maybe at some point I just passed that end date that I set. Maybe it's actually over. Maybe it ended. And I didn't even notice. Just like I didn't notice when this started. I fucking slept through it. Whatever it was, I slept through it. I don't know when I last took my meds either. I just looked over at the clock. It says 9:27, but is that AM or PM? I could actually check the computer, the phone, and that would tell me. But maybe it's better if I just don't know. Maybe that's easier somehow. I just checked my meds. I'm out. I'm out of everything. Except the Xanax. Because I don't take that regularly. I just take that as needed. And you know what? I've been so freaked out that I've actually been forgetting I had it. So I've got a lot of it, actually. There's some things I could do with it. If I wanted to. It's almost 10:30. Let's just, for fun, let's say that this is PM. Let's say we're talking 10:30 at night. That gives me about, what, like an hour and a half, give or take. We got those houses, and there's the garage, and there's some stuff in the garage. Alright, fuck it. Yeah. Yeah, just fuck it all to hell. God, it wasn't even that much gasoline. It's so bright. I can't even look at it. I didn't even know there was anything that bright anymore. Oh, it's beautiful. Hey. Yeah, right. You looking at that? You like that? You like what I did? You won't talk to me. You won't let me out of here. Well, I can still fucking do this. I can still use something. Look at that. Look at what you made me do. Look at what you... Oh. You brought out your friends, huh? Alright. Just stand here with me. Watch this. I'm not gonna dance around it. I'm not gonna scream. You don't have to move in the face of something like this. You just have to be here and see it. And try to remember. I can't believe it took me this long. Just stand here and watch it as the clock ticks down. Even if I'm not looking at it. You can feel it if you're not watching. You can hear it if you can't see it. You can just behold. Now, what will this do? When this fall apart, the center cannot hold, and energy seems to run apart. I've never seen so much fire turn so black. Hello, folks. Good to speak to you. This is Sunny Moraine, the writer and narrator and producer of this podcast. Welcome to episode 8. This was a very interesting episode to do. There's a part at the end, in fact, that, I'm just going to warn you, if you listen to this with children around, it slips a little bit into R-rated territory. It's not, it's audio. You'll hear it. Just be aware that that's coming. This was an interesting episode to do in general. Things are continuing to get stranger, which is introducing some interesting storytelling challenges that I will be talking about in the behind the scenes episode for this month, which is again available to supporters on Patreon at the $25 and up level. Speaking of Patreon, thanks to you amazing people, I have reached and surpassed my buy a new mic goal, so I am now going to be able to do that. I know exactly which one I want. It's going to be super cool. I'm really looking forward to that. Again, thank you so much. I cannot begin to tell you how much I appreciate your support. If you want to join the ranks of the amazing people who are supporting this podcast, which again I make all by myself with absolutely no help or sponsorship, you can go to patreon.com/hotrockpile. Absolutely no donation is too small. $1 a month, those dollars add up, so $1 a month, even that much, goes a long way. And depending on the level, you get all kinds of goodies, like a recorded short story set somewhere in this universe every month, a couple of other things. Check it out, see if anything interests you. Another way you can support the podcast, if you're inclined to do so, is to go to on podcast.podbean.com. There's a PayPal donate button right there on the front page. You can click that. You can send me a couple of bucks on PayPal. That is also amazing. And really, the best thing you can do if you want to pay me back for some free entertainment, review, rate, subscribe on iTunes, share on social media, tell people about this. I have absolutely no means of advertising except for you amazing people. And you really are truly amazing. So thank you so much. One more piece of housekeeping before we go ahead and get to the episode. If you've been listening and not skipping ahead in the intro, you probably know that I've been somewhat back and forth on whether or not I was going to include 10 or 11 episodes in this season. I have pretty much decided on that, and there are going to be 11 episodes, which means depending on timing, you're going to get one more episode from me after Christmas before we go on our season hiatus. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, I'm assuming you find it exciting because you're listening to this. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and go ahead and get to the episode. Thank you so much for listening. Like I've been saying this whole time, I appreciate you endlessly, and I'm going to take you back into the darkness. Turning and turning in a widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. A wave of desert sand. The shape of a round body in the head of a man. A gaze blank, pitiless as the sun. Is moving with slow thighs, while all about it lying shadows of indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know. The 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. You know what really keeps us from destroying things? From setting fires and breaking things and, killing people. You know what really keeps us from doing those things? It's not that we're good people. I'd like to believe that. I really would, but I can't. It's that we think it's going to matter. We think it's going to make a difference in the most literal possible way. That there's the world and we do something to it. And that thing matters. It lasts. When you think that something doesn't matter, when you think that nothing matters anymore, you're free. You're free in the deepest possible way. This place is perfect. It's pristine. It doesn't matter what I did. That's something I think I've been saying over and over again the last however fucking long it's been. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't fucking matter. I never thought of it like that until now. But I'm free. I'm completely free. Hi, you wanna go? Alright, let's go. Oh, shit. Whew. Hello. I said it didn't matter. Just broke every window in this fucking house. It was fun. I mean, I didn't really think it would be super fun, you know, but it was... It did something. It did something that I wanted. When was the last time I got something I wanted? You know, when really was the last time that I got something? And you know what? It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Tomorrow, whatever tomorrow means anymore, it's gonna be completely fucking fine. Okay. Well, there's not a whole lot left to break, so it's time to do some looting. There's some stuff I need. And you know, there's just, I don't know. Who knows? There might be some stuff I want. Well, these are things I never saw myself really wanting. I mean, one of them is a thing I really explicitly never wanted. I didn't think it was a good idea to have it around for a number of reasons. But this bottle of, God, what the fuck is it? I mean, I don't know if it's expensive or not, and I have no idea how I'd ever be able to tell, but I've got it. I've got it. And this, well, I mean, I've never fired one before. But how hard can it really be? I'll find out. I'm a cliche of a cliche. I broke into somebody's house, and what did I take, aside from some canned shit? I took a bottle of alcohol, and I took a fucking gun. I am literally embarrassed by that. I'm completely alone. You don't give a fuck. I am actually embarrassed. Oh, whatever. In lieu of anything better to do, I'm going through the radio again. Clearly you can hear there's more channels now. I've counted about 10 so far. Some of them I recognize, some of them I don't. Not all of them have numbers, some of them are just tunes. Some of them are just tones. Just beeping. The ones that have numbers, I've started listing all the numbers that I'm hearing. I'm gonna look for some kind of pattern, I guess. I don't know. I'm nursing a buzz. That's the right term, right? I don't drink usually. I'm nursing a buzz, and it actually feels not too bad. The gun's on the table, far away from me. It's not that I don't trust myself with it, it's just that I don't really trust myself with it, you know? All these numbers by station. I am making a note of a tune if they come with it, or of a period of tones if it comes with that too. But I mean, if these are number stations, like we know number stations, I'm not gonna find anything in this. I would need the one-time pad, and the one-time pad only works the one time. Is there actually some kind of message in these? Are they just... I feel like there is a set of natural laws at work here, and if I could just find the pattern, all of this would start to make sense. If I could just find that one-time pad somewhere that decodes all of this. I'm making a list of the numbers because I don't know what else to do. It's what I've got. if somebody's trying to send some kind of signal to somebody else, if somebody out there has some kind of message that they're trying to get to someone, if I'm intercepting it. If someone's trying to send some kind of message to me, that cannot possibly be it. On the other hand, I guess technically that's as possible as anything else. I don't even know what I'm going to do with these numbers once I've got them all written down. I don't know how to decode ciphers. I don't know the first thing about code breaking. I mean, I know you can do the thing where you substitute letters for numbers, but I am 99.99999% sure that that's not going to do anything. That's what I got, but, you know, fuck, like, it might work. Anything might work. The thing about this, you know, the really liberating thing is, well, I mean, it's like what I said earlier. You know, nothing matters. I can kind of do whatever the fuck I want. Anything is possible. Somebody could be trying to send me some kind of message. Who'd be doing that? Is it possible that somebody who's gone is trying to get some kind of message to me? Is it possible that somewhere people know that I'm not there? I can't decide if that's a comforting thought or not. I think I might drink more. You know, I don't know when I last slept, but I do know that the last time I slept, I had a dream. And in that dream, everybody was here, but they weren't here. Like, they were all around me, and I was walking through them like this crowd, like the last big house party that we threw, which I don't know when that was, because we don't usually do those, but I know we did at least once do one, and it was so weird because this is a big house, and it's usually just 2 people, and it was so many people, and moving around the space was different. It was like the space changed. Not the number of people, the space. And I know that makes no sense, but I swear to God that's what it was like. That's what it was like. So I was moving through this crowd of people, and they couldn't see me. I could see them, but they didn't know I was there. I don't know how I knew that, but I knew that. They didn't know I was there. And I tried talking to them, except I couldn't. I couldn't talk. I couldn't make any noise at all. And they wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't look at me. It's almost like they didn't want to look at me. Like I was something they didn't want to see. I feel like that now. Like even if they're not in the room with me, even if they're just outside walking around, staring, whispering to each other. They're also in here. They're looking at me out of the walls. See their hands in the corners of my vision, like black butterflies, like leaves in the woods when there's a breeze. If I'm not alone at all, if no one's really gone, if they're all here, they're right here with me. And I won't look at them, and they don't know why. If something went really wrong somewhere. I saw something. I heard something. And it drove me fucking crazy. And I can't get back. I don't want to be mad at her anymore. If they want to help me, if they want to tell me something, and they just can't get to me. I have all the numbers. There are a lot of numbers. They're all around me. And page after page of paper. All those binders. I could have typed them out on the computer, but I needed to have them in my hands. I needed to move them, press them together, add them that way. Contact, not counting. There's gotta be sense in them, but there's no sense in them. They're just numbers. Someone somewhere could understand them. I can't. I don't know why I'm trying. I don't know why I'm trying, except I don't know what else to do except keep trying. I think the lights are gonna go out soon. I think that's probably gonna happen. They're flickering a lot now. It's always flickering and they're so dim. I'm done with my list of numbers. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm just looking at it. Like I said before, I'm just looking at it. This bottle I got from the house, though, it's a high rye mash pill. I have no idea what that means, and it doesn't taste very good. But, you know, it's a thing. So here's two theories. It's what I got. Something did happen with infrasound. It hit me. I don't know if it hit anybody else, but it did hit me. And whatever it was powerful enough that now I'm in the middle of the most vivid hallucination anybody ever could be in. And I'm not alone, and nobody else is gone, but I think I am, and I think it's dark, and I think I've lost everything. So, does it really matter whether or not it's happening, if that's all I know? But I am this fucking crazy person, surrounded by all the people who are really still here, and they're normal, and I'm not, and it's all just a big misunderstanding. It's just this big cosmic misunderstanding. Oh, God. So, here's the other possibility. It's the infrasound thing again. But whatever it really was powerful enough to make everybody go the fuck away. So, like, incinerated them or something? No. See, that doesn't work. I just realized because it's the same reason the Rapture didn't work. There'd be clothes everywhere. There'd be cars fucking smashed. It wouldn't be this neat. There wouldn't be the dust. So, that's out. So, really the only possibility left, if I'm taking that approach, is that I am out of my fucking mind. None of this is really happening. The whispering and the shapes I'm seeing are just people. If they're even there, they're just regular people. Am I really walking around my house? If I was crazy, if I was having some kind of sound-induced psychotic break, would they just let me do that? Wouldn't somebody try to stop me and put me in a place where I couldn't do any of that? Wouldn't I be in some kind of institution? I would like to think that somebody would care enough about me to do that. Yeah. Is my house really full of people? Is it really full of all those people I'm seeing out in the hall and in the kitchen and in the bathroom? Yeah, they're in the bathroom. Don't even get me started on how weird that is. This is just my life now. I don't know when I last saw anything even vaguely approximating daylight. I think that's just over. You know, I think that stage is done. So here we are. I'm crazy. I'm just adopting that as my current assumption about how this is working. I'm fucking crazy. And actually, you know, that's comforting. Because it really does mean that it doesn't matter. Because none of this actually is real. It means she's still here. means she's still with me. She could be right next to me. She could be right next to me right now, trying to talk to me, and I don't hear her. What if I'm really saying these things? What if I'm really saying them and she's actually hearing them? That would be fucking awful. It wouldn't just be awful because I don't mean them. Because that's the thing. I do. I mean all of them. I mean every single thing that I'm saying. And this is the thing about alcohol, I guess, is it just makes you so honest. I'm so fucking mad at her. I've been mad at her for years. For years. And I didn't know, except I think I did. And I don't know. Stuff seemed good. I didn't want to be the bitch who was never satisfied with anything. I should have been grateful for what she was giving me, because she was giving me so much. She was giving me this dream life. I didn't have to do anything. I could stay at home and do whatever the fuck I wanted. Isn't that what people want? Don't people just want this kind of insane degree of freedom? That's what I had. I don't think that's what I wanted. Oh, God. You know, I miss her. I really do. I really miss her. I'm so fucking mad. I'm so fucking mad, but I miss her. I miss her like you miss something that you've just always had and you got so used to, and it doesn't even matter whether or not it was good for you. You miss it because it's what you had, and now it's gone. I miss her like a drug. I got her every day. She kept me stable. She came home, and I built up a tolerance by then, so it wasn't really getting me high anymore, but you know what? It just kept me on a baseline, and that was good. The meds, and everything, it kept me stable. It kept me static. It kept me where I was. Now everything's changed. And it's still changing. And I'm changing with it, or I'm not. I'm either sediment flowing with the current, or I'm just this rock and everything's flowing around me, and I'm stuck. But eventually it'll wear me down. I'm a poet. Listen to me. I'm a poet. Christ. I don't want this. I don't want any of this. What happens from now? Where do I go from here? What does tomorrow look like? What does the day after that look like? There's no more tomorrows. There's no more days. There's just this. There's just the dark. There's just the whispering, and there's just me. I'm out of everything. I've got nothing. And sitting here in the middle of all of that. And you know, all I want is her. I just want her back. It's fucking pathetic. But it's true. It's true. Oh, fuck. You know, I'm just not even near drunk enough. Yeah, well, that is one thing that I can't do something about, isn't it? I like to add her initial to my monogram. Tell me, where is the shepherd for this lost lamb? Won't you tell her, please, to put on some speed? Follow my lead. Oh, how I need someone to watch over me. Hey. Oh, God. Hi. I haven't seen you since I was a kid. Oh, wait. Oh my God. Here. Oh, I thought you'd never come back. Well, come here then. There you are.
Alright, back. I just had to turn on my mic for a bit as a bit of a disclaimer before the next episode. It's not the last episode. We are coming up on the last one. But Florzo reminded me that this episode has a major content warning for suicide. So make sure that when it starts to get rough, if you don't think you can, listen to that right now, feel free to mute it. I'll go back on chat and tell you guys when the part is over. But just a bit of warning, because I know I've forgotten, especially since I haven't listened to this. I can't really warn for that. And so we're back to this amazing podcast.
Hello folks, this is Sunny Moraine, the writer and narrator and producer of this podcast. I'm very happy to be speaking to you again. I'm especially happy to be speaking to you through the new microphone that I've been able to buy thanks to the incredibly generous supporters on Patreon who helped make that possible. It's a goal that I set when I first set up that Patreon. I passed it. I appreciate it so much. This is very exciting. I have a new toy. I'm getting to play with it. It's awesome. So along with that, let me go ahead and make a plug for my Patreon. If you enjoy this show, if you want to help support it, I do it all by myself. I am the writer, I am the producer, I'm the narrator. I have no sponsorship. It's just me and a microphone. You can go to patreon.com/hotrockpile. Shoot me a couple dollars a month. Check out my rewards. I have a few available. I think they're pretty neat. Maybe you will think that they are neat too. Regardless, no donation is too small. Those single dollars add up, so anything is hugely appreciated. Beyond monetary support, possibly the best thing that you can do is spread the word about this on whatever social media platform you happen to use. Go to iTunes, rate, review, subscribe. Everybody asks everybody to rate, review, subscribe, but seriously, with something this small, the value of that cannot possibly be overstated. So if you've already done that, I appreciate you so much. And if you haven't done that, why not take a couple minutes and go do that right now? That would be awesome. A couple quick housekeeping things before we get to the episode. First of all, I wanted to say that in addition to having 11 episodes rather than the 10 I originally conceived of when I came up with this season, I'm also going to go ahead and beg your forbearance while I take another short break after this episode. The holidays are coming up. I'm also working on a doctoral dissertation, which I frankly don't advise, and I'm going to need the month of December to focus on some things. So we're going to be back in January with the final 2 episodes in the season. After that, I'm not sure how long the gap between season 1 and season 2 is going to be. As I've said, I'm going to try and make it as short as possible, perhaps a couple of months. Just stay tuned. I'll let you know as I know. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and keep the patron reward system active. And in fact, I'm going to try to write more than just the 1 short story a month. I'm going to try and perhaps do 2, even maybe 3, depending on what my workload allows for and what I can possibly get my brain to produce. Bottom line, I don't want to just let this sit, even if I'm not actively producing traditional episodes. I want to keep giving you guys stuff, and I want to keep active in this universe. It's exciting to me, and I'm having fun with it, and I hope you're having fun too. This is a bit of a short episode. Forgive me for that, but what happens in this episode is important, and I'm not packing a whole lot of stuff around it. it for that reason. You'll see. And in fact, that's the final bit of housekeeping related to that. If you have any trigger issues regarding suicide, if you find it difficult to listen to discussions of or depictions of suicide, I would proceed very carefully with this episode. I'm not going to tell you not to listen to it, obviously, but yeah, just proceed with some caution. That's all I really think I want to say. All right, so with all that being said, let me go ahead and shut up and return you to the darkness. You taught me so much. You taught me about life. You taught me that you can lie and lie because you need to believe a lie. You can lie so well that you believe it just as much as you want anybody else to. You actually weren't the first person to teach me that. I learned that really young. Children tell the lies of their parents, and they lie to their own children, and it just keeps going and going. When I met you, I thought that was truth, like I'd never known it before. I know better now. That was the biggest lie I've ever told. And it was my lie, you know, it wasn't yours. Honestly, I don't think you ever told me anything that wasn't true. You can count lies by omission. There were things you didn't tell me. But you asked me not to ask. It wasn't like you tried to make me believe there weren't things I didn't know. I knew. I accepted it. And I just kept living the lie. You taught me how to do that. You taught me how to do that so well. Now I'm learning all over again. I'm starting to get a sense of what was a lie and what wasn't. What was true, what wasn't. But I'm learning something else. And in some ways it's the worst thing. And it is that the line between lies and truth is not hard and it's not solid. It's porous. Things can move across it, back and forth. Things can be in both places at once. Things can straddle that line. There's a space in between that line. A kind of liminal reality. Not quite real. Not quite false. Within that space, the waveform holds true. It never collapses. Anything can be true and false at the same time. Life and death, existence and non-existence. Light and dark. The only thing that changes is who's looking and when. And as soon as you look away, it changes again. I'm looking now. I'm looking now and I'm seeing so much. And really, I should thank you. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just so tired. And I'd like to give up, to be honest. But I'm long past the point at which that was a choice I could make. I'm just here. I'm just here. It's just me. Except that's not true either, is it? Oh, God. I never hit record last night. My phone, by the bed, and I don't even remember going to bed. Clearly I did at some point. Collapsed. My fucking clothes. I wasn't even under the sheets. But I did hit record on my iPhone, or something did, because I listened to it just now. And what I heard, it's not completely clear, but you know what, it's clear enough. And there are things I do remember about last night, maybe. There's no last night, there's just night now. I wasn't alone in that bed. I felt something. Not heard, I felt. I heard the chimes. I heard the reset. but I felt a touch on my face. I can't mistake that touch. I know exactly what her fingers feel like. I looked up, and there was that shadow standing over me, that shape. I remember it from when I was a kid. I remember how I was so scared I couldn't move, and it was just standing there, and I knew that it could do anything it wanted to me, and I wouldn't be able to stop it. And this time I knew exactly who it was, though. It wasn't just this shadow. It was her. It was always her. Not just now, not just before. It was always her. That shouldn't be possible, but it is. When I was a kid, it was her. She found a way to reach back to then, and I think she tried to reach out, and I couldn't understand. But I did get it last night. She came to me. We were together, like we used to be. Except I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that it was her. And if it wasn't her, what happened to me? What happened to me? I can't do this anymore. I have all my notes and all my numbers, and I have the radio going all the fucking time. And I have the sounds, and I have the shadows. And I know I'm not alone, but I can't do this anymore. I can't do anything. Nothing I do matters. Nothing I do leaves a mark. Nothing I do lasts. I can burn anything. I can break anything. I can destroy anything. I think any way I wanted to, and in the end it wouldn't make any fucking difference. But you know, I think maybe there is one thing that I can do that would take. I gotta think about it. I keep thinking about the antenna. The one time I went to it. Just went to it that one time. And it wasn't just that I got attacked or whatever, but I heard that signal. That was the first time I heard the signal, and I don't know if it had anything to do with the antenna. I kind of suspect it did, but I'll never really understand what. I really do believe that somebody is trying to talk to me. It could just be wishful thinking. I have no way of knowing it. I have no way of figuring out what it is they're trying to say. But they are trying to talk to me. It could be the last way whoever it is has of getting in touch with me. And with anybody. Who knows who or what it is that's reaching out. If it's them. If it's someone else. If it's her. Number stations are signals. Shortwave works because it can go anywhere in the world. There's no straight line restricting it. But you gotta have that pad. You gotta have the pad, otherwise it's just fucking numbers, and I don't have a pad. And doesn't the person sending this to me know that? Is there a pad? Don't they know that I have no way of making any sense of it? It's tormenting me. It's right there. And if I could just figure it out, would it make a difference? Is this better? Is not being quite alone, just being alone enough, is that better than being completely alone, with no hope of ever reaching anybody? That antenna. It's the one thing I've been near that didn't feel like it was completely part of the rest of this. It was the one thing that I've been near that feels like it's from outside. It's touching outside. It's tall enough to reach beyond this if there's a ceiling, piercing it, reaching into the light, and delivering something that I'll never understand. And every second of transmission is a chance to make sense of it that I've lost, and I'm never going to get it back. I thought about getting in the car and going back there. I thought about getting in the car and going anywhere at all. I thought about getting in the car and just fucking driving. I thought about getting in the car and aiming it at a tree and just hitting the gas as hard as I can. I'm not in a good place right now. Thing is, there really isn't anywhere else for me to go, is there? So all I can do is just be here. This isn't heaven. This isn't hell. This isn't some kind of afterlife. It's just the dark. And I'm right back where I started on day one. I don't know what to do. I don't think there's anything I can do. Seven, 5, 7, 1, 0, 4, 0, 2, 2, 6, 3, 6, 9, 9, 1, 6, 1, 0, 8, 5, 4, 7, 6, 9, 8, 6, 9, 7, 0, 0, 8, 0, 1, 7, 0, 4, 2, 8, 5, 9, 8, 5, 4, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You know, when nothing else is working, there is this relief that comes when you finally make a decision. You know, when all the deliberation is done and you've weighed every option, and you know what you have to do. You know what there is to do. The only thing there is to do. And it feels better. It does feel better. I'd heard that. I've heard that you get calm and you're not scared of anything anymore. You just know. And you know that you can end it. You know that it can be over. I hit that point I talked about before, forever ago. I'm in the dark all the time. So I don't even feel like this is going to be that big a change. It's just going to be finished. You're not really there. Nobody's really there. Nobody's ever going to hear this. There's no sense in recording this for some kind of posterity. But I'm doing it anyway. What I said when I started doing this was that recording it made me feel real. And it does. It's making me feel real right now, as real as I've ever been, as real as I ever will be again. And I'm going to keep recording. I'm going to keep recording right up to the end. And I'm going to keep recording after that. And that's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. I said I'd never fired one of these before. It can't be that complicated, right? So many people do. Doesn't seem like it. I don't think I'm gonna fuck this up. I've never known how to say goodbye. So I'm not gonna bother with it. Just, yeah. No, 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 no. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck! Hello friends, this is Sunny Moraine, the writer and narrator and producer of this podcast, and welcome to the penultimate episode of Season 1 of Gone. This is very exciting and also incredibly nerve-wracking. I'm sorry that it's getting up a day late. Like I said on Twitter, I had to go to New York to do a reading, which was an awful lot of fun, but it did mean that some of my time had to be taken up in doing that. In addition, I'm terribly sorry, but it's possible that the next episode, the season finale, will be up a little bit late as well, because I'm going out of town next week, and that's going to take me out of commission for about 5 days. So yeah, this is just a crazy month, and I apologize for that. I will get it up the day after or the day after that at the absolute latest, and thank you so much for your patience. And thank you so much for having listened this season. It's been incredible. It's been more successful than I honestly thought it would be. It's been a ton of fun. I've learned a lot. I'm really psyched about what Season 2 might be. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for buying me a coffee, sending me donations via PayPal. Whatever it is that you've done, you've helped me keep this going, and that means so much to me. If you are not currently a Patreon supporter, go ahead and check out what I'm offering at patreon.com/hotrockpile. It's also linked on the Podbean site, gonepodcast.podbean.com. Link to Patreon, a link to the PayPal donate button, and a link to where you can buy me a coffee if you are so inclined to do that. I'm offering some fun rewards through Patreon. Absolutely no donation is too small. For instance, if you donate $1 a month, you get some free flash fiction from time to time. Getting up to $5 and $10, you get access to a free short story set somewhere in the Gone universe. $5 gets you print, $10 gets you print and audio, and that's not all. Check out some of the other stuff that I've got on offer. Again, I do this all myself. I have no sponsorship, so any support is just appreciated more than I could possibly say. Okay, thank you again so much for listening. It means the world to me, and without further ado, let me take you back into the darkness. I'm guessing you've heard the old one about freedom being nothing left to lose. If that's true, I must be the freest person who's ever fucking lived. I mean, I have nothing left to lose. I don't even have that. I tried to lose it. I couldn't. I have it. I can't lose it. Riddle me that, Batman. I'm done with that. I've got to be. I didn't get anything out of it. I'm absolutely sure trying it again will get me the same result. And you know what the definition of insanity is, too, don't you? What I've lost, I don't have it to lose anymore. What I've got, I can't lose. I am completely free. I know I said that before, but I didn't really know what free meant. And I do now. I am completely free. I'm fucking immortal. Right, so let's see where we go from here. I was dead, right? I had to have been dead. I had to have been dead for a couple of minutes. That's an experience very few people get to have. I don't remember anything. You know, I was raised to believe in heaven. I was raised to believe in hell. I was raised to believe you could go either place depending on a number of variables. I was raised to believe that being who I was, that was a really good way to get yourself into one place instead of another. You know, the thing is, I stopped believing in a lot of that shit, but I never really stopped believing in something after. I don't know, I guess I really wanted to. I guess the idea of non-existence was just... I don't even know why that should be so terrible. It's not like it hurts. It's not like you feel anything anymore. But it was terrible. I wanted to believe in something. But I don't remember anything. Not even darkness. I don't remember anything. You'd think maybe that would kick me onto the oblivion side a little more than I was. You know, honestly, I still don't know what I believe. I also don't think, given that that option is no longer open to me, I really don't think it matters. I said before that if I tried that again, I'm pretty sure I know what would happen, and I am. But you know, I could do the Groundhog Day thing, and I could try a bunch of different ways. I think I might do that at some point, but not right now. I've moved past something. I'm not just free. Free isn't even the right word for it. I feel different. I died. I killed myself, and I came back, and I don't feel the same. I came back without something. In that nothingness, I left something behind. I don't think I miss it. I can't go back. The only direction now is forward. Whatever forward looks like. They're all still around me. Walking down the hall is like walking through a fucking forest. My hands reaching out like branches. My arms. My face. I don't give a shit. They're just here. Whatever. That's just the world now. I gotta think. I gotta take some time. I've been making this too complicated. I just can't get away from the feeling it's a lot simpler than I've been thinking that it is. I mean, it's gotta be complicated, though. It's gotta be complicated given everything that I'm working with, given the numbers, given the signal, given the sound. It's gotta be enormously complex. It was something she was working on, and she was smart as shit, and it was complicated, whatever it was. But I just got this feeling that it's also so simple. I gotta put away all the pieces that I've been accumulating, that I've been putting around me, that I've been trying to fit together. I gotta put them away, and I gotta just not look directly at them for a while. Just let them be. They're not gonna go anywhere. They're gonna take care of themselves. Put all together, they do make a picture. Those numbers. Not just numbers, equations. And equations describe something. Math is not abstract. Math is descriptive. Math is creative. Math shapes, it forms. What if it can do more than that? It's the language of nature, right? What nature is it describing? What nature might it change? I'm not so sure the signals are for me. I'm not so sure the signals were ever for us at all. Who were they coming from? And who was receiving? I love a lot of science fiction, right? I know a lot of science fiction. I know there are a lot of different ways we've thought about communicating with other forms of intelligence. Music is one, obviously, you know, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Pictures, another one. They're the etchings that we've sent out on satellites that, you know, maybe something will pick up, see, understand somehow. But there's also math. There's signals that incorporate math. The idea that we'll know another intelligence that's operating on the same level or higher than ours if they understand and communicate in math. Some form of mathematics that we can recognize. Some form of mathematics that describes something. Fuck, of course it would be the one thing that I'm absolutely shit at understanding. They couldn't just communicate in poetry, could they? They communicate. Sounds like I've already concluded something. I'm not sure whether or not that's a good idea. Oh well. I forgot to say, there's blood on the floor. There's a lot of blood on the floor. There's a lot of blood on the floor. There's a lot of blood on the chair. Yeah, for some reason that didn't clean itself up. God knows why, but it didn't. I cleaned myself up. Don't even have a scratch on me. Not even a scar. It didn't roll forward. It rolled back. But not the chair. Not the floor. It's not just blood, either. There's brain in it. Actual honest-to-Christ brain. It's pinkish. It's kind of spongy. Not just spongy. It's spongy. It's more like jelly. And flecks of bone. Little pale things like opaque glass. I blew a fucking hole in my head. It wasn't neat. Obviously, I didn't see it, but whatever it wasn't neat. It wasn't like this clean little hole like you'd see on TV or something. This was like something out of a fucking movie. It embraces its own gore. This was a hole. This was a pit. There might have been not a whole lot left in my face. It's weird thinking about that. Looking at the actual evidence of it and thinking about what that might actually have looked like. I can't go to my own funeral. Even if I could die, who's left to give me one? I can't see my own death. I can't float above me and see what it looked like. If I could do that, would it feel more real? Because it doesn't. Even looking at the evidence, it doesn't feel real. It dried by the time I got to it, or mostly dried. Blood's a bitch to clean up. I've never bled that much, so I didn't really understand the degree to which it's a bitch to clean up. I'm never going to get it out of the chair. Never going to get it out of the upholstery. The floor's tiles, so I got most of that up. You know, I don't really want to get rid of all of it. I think I need some of it there, as long as it'll stay there. It could disappear anytime. Any of this could disappear anytime. But it's one thing that I changed. Even if it was only for a couple of minutes, it's one thing that I changed. Just because it didn't take, doesn't mean I didn't change it. There's dust everywhere. There's shadows everywhere. I'm not alone. I think I'm less alone than I've ever been. It's really messed up that a mess would be the best memorial I've got right now. I do think I'm going to try again. I think I'm going to make a list of different ways I could try, and I'm going to try again. I'm going to go down the list and see what happens. All scientific, like, make some notes. Not yet. Not today. Today. Not now. Not later, not for a while. I got some other work to do. You know, I said I didn't really know anything about math, and I don't. And I also said I didn't know a whole lot about physics, and I don't. But I do know some things. I know some things about dimensions. You know, in science fiction, when they say alternate dimension, they're usually talking about a parallel universe. You can step into that other universe, and it's like ours, but it's slightly different, you know? Like, Spock has a fucking goatee, and everybody's evil or something. But that's not actually what they are. They're other parts of our world that aren't perceptible to us, yes, but they're also planes of perception. If we could see into another dimension, we would perceive different aspects of the universe that exist, that we live alongside, that we move through, but that we can't see for whatever reason. I know that in superstring theory there's this idea that they're curled up so small, I think, that they're just not detectable. Say you could make them detectable. And just say that by making them detectable, maybe you could actually change something. Because there's also the idea that by observing something you change it. That the very act of observing something is enough of an intrusion into how that thing works to create some kind of a change. So then there's the idea that we can never actually look at anything without us being part of it in some way. We can never observe something in its fully natural state, because the second we get involved, it's not in its natural state anymore. So, what if you could make those dimensions perceptible? What would that do? Let's just say, for shits and giggles, that you could actually open up some kind of a door. Not just make something visible, but you could actually open something up and look through it. What might look back at you? And if something does look back at you, what might that do to you? I did a full pass through the house. I walked through it. I've never done it like that before. Up until now, I've been darting through it. I've been creeping through it like it wasn't even mine anymore. Like I could somehow escape their notice. No, this time I just walked. I thought before I was all out of fear. I mean, I thought I didn't have any left to feel. But this time I walked through them, and I really wasn't afraid. I just looked at them. I still can't see their faces. As far as I can tell, they don't even have faces. They do have heads. Their heads spin, like their whole bodies spin, like time around them is not moving in the same way that it is for me. Like I said, like their films on fast forward. Used to find that scary as shit. But I don't. It's just how things are now. I went into the bedroom, and a lot of them were in there. Standing against the walls mostly, but there was kind of a circle around the bed. I'm not going to sleep in that bed anymore. Again, it's not that I'm afraid, it's just that I don't think I want to sleep in that bed anymore. It doesn't feel right. It's not just like they're watching me now. It's like they're waiting for me to do something. Clearly they're not going to tell me what. It would be nice, though. Even after I decided that I was on my own, I think I was still waiting for somebody to show up and give me some kind of instruction. Somebody to show up and give me some kind of clue. Some kind of plan. I'm not waiting for that now. And I'm also okay with it. Okay with being on my own. It's not like I have a choice. I've still got this gun. I don't know, I still feel like I might want to use it for something. Me, yeah, I still think I want to try those experiments I was talking about, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm not done with it yet. The weight of it feels good, it feels comforting. It's not about power, it's about solidity. It's about the coolness of it, the way it's almost slick. It's like an anchor. When I was walking through the house, I was just carrying it with me, just holding it. I didn't chamber around, I wasn't thinking I was going to use it on anything, but I liked having it. I'm going to keep it from now on. I'm going to keep it close. It's not that I think I will need it. It's not that I think I might. It's that I think I do need it. Right now. I think I need it all the time. I keep coming back to the sound. It really is the sound. It's the sound, and it's the numbers, and it's the way those two things go together. There's an order in it. There's an order in the sound, and if I can just figure out what that order is, maybe if I figure out, maybe if I can see it, it'll open something else up. Maybe if I can observe, it'll change something else. Collapse something, bring it into being. Right now it's liminal. It's in the spaces in between. Like me. Looking through my notes again. My notes and her notes together. And thinking, we start things small. We don't really know what they're going to become. We have seeds. We don't know what shape they're going to take when they grow. I'm really not angry at her. I mean, I am. I'm very angry, but I'm also not. Because, you know, I don't really think that she knew any more about this than I did. I don't know why I know that, but I really got this feeling. She knew, but she didn't know. Maybe she didn't tell me because she didn't feel like she could. Maybe she didn't tell me because they told her not to, and she was afraid of what would happen if she did. Maybe she thought that she was saving me from some kind of danger by not telling me. Maybe she really just thought that I wouldn't understand. But maybe she didn't tell me because she just didn't really have anything to tell. She did, but she had no words to put it into. There are so many secrets we keep that we don't even mean to. There are secrets we keep that we don't even know are secrets. We hold them inside ourselves. We don't even fully understand the shape that they're taking. We don't know what they're going to turn into. We don't know who they're going to hurt. And then by the time we figure that out, it's too late to do anything. There are things we can perceive, and then there are things that we can't, and we live alongside the things that we can't perceive, and they're just as real as everything we do see. These little curled up dimensions inside us. And if we can open the door to them, and we can see them, that kind of changes everything, doesn't it? There's order in the sound. There's order in everything. Maybe I don't have to really understand it in order to be able to do something with it. Maybe all I have to do is just open that door a crack and look through. All those things all around me, they see me. Maybe all I have to do is see them just a little bit better. There's those two words again. Emergence, entropy. There's order, but things are also falling apart, and they're falling apart in cycles. They're coming to pieces, they're coming back together. Going through her notes, going through her computer. I found everything I'd already found before, but I also found something else that I hadn't noticed, and I don't know why I missed it. But it's just 2 sentences. They're underlined. They're underlined and circled. Clearly they were really important. Underneath some stuff about emergence and entropy. Underneath a bunch of figures that I can't understand. Math that I don't understand. Same old shit. There's potential for brain disintegration. Brain, B-R-A-N-E. Potential for brain disintegration. Avoid repeated iterations. Yeah. I know. I still feel like all of this is the result of somebody's intention. Somebody is behind this. Somebody is wanting this to happen. But also, somebody didn't. If she knew that something like this could happen, if she knew that any of this could happen, if she had any idea at all, I can't imagine that this is what she intended. Repeated iterations. Every time this goes around again, everything gets just a little bit worse. Everything gets a little bit darker. Everything gets closer and closer to me. It's already in me. It's in my fucking cells. It brought me back when I was gone in the most complete way possible. If it keeps going, what is that gonna do? Entropy doesn't just mean things falling apart. It means inevitable approaching disorder. It means disorder is an ongoing process. Or maybe it just means a different kind of order, an alternate ordering. The world being pushed into a new shape, me being pushed with it. Disintegration means something falling apart, but it also means something not integrated. Interlaced, interwoven things slipping away from each other, moving apart. Pieces no longer fitting. But the ways in which they fit are still present. Even if the puzzle pieces are scattered across the floor, you can still look at the shapes and you can still reconstruct the ways in which they fit together. The order isn't gone. I've got to find the signal. I've got to find the sound. I'm standing outside again in the driveway, looking around at everything. Looking at the car, but also, around. It's not really dark anymore. I can't remember if I said this already. I stopped listening to these a while ago. I'm not making them for me anymore. I'm not making them for anything. But it's not really dark anymore. I mean, it is. It's pitch fucking black, but it's also not. I can see. I can see everything. I have the flashlight. That still works. Flickers pretty bad, but it is still technically throwing some kind of light around. But even through the fog, I can see something. It's like since it happened, I'm kind of part of this in a way that I wasn't before. Like it remade me. I'm looking at the car. I think I gotta get back in it. I've spent so much time inside with the notes and the books and her laptop going over and over everything, and I think I've really gotten all I can from it. There are things I know. There's the sound, there's the order, there are the numbers. There's the language that I can't quite make sense of. But I decided before that I couldn't stay here anymore, and I think that that's still true. What am I gonna do? Just keep looking through the same shit as before, over and over again? I'm running out of food, running out of everything. I'm actually doing okay without the medication. I'm not, okay doesn't mean anything, but I'm functional. I'm here. I've cut that loose, cut everything loose. There's nothing for me anymore. I'm not gonna bother packing. There's nothing to pack. I'm just gonna take the gun, and I'm gonna take what I'm wearing, and I'm gonna get in that car, and I'm gonna drive. Because there are two places that I think I could go back to. One of them is someplace I've been. One of them is the one place I probably should have gone to from the very beginning, and I never did. God, it's even taller than I remembered. I can see it very clearly, but I still can't see the top. And there's something else. I don't know if I forgot it or if it wasn't true at the time. But there's a light up there. On the very top. Blinking red. Like a beacon. For me? Or something else? They're here, just like they were when I first came here. They're gathered around the base. Giant circle of them. Crowd. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna push my way through them. I'm gonna get to that tower. I left my house already. I left the only thing I considered home anymore. Now I'm gonna leave the ground. Oh my god. I used to be so afraid of heights. I'm not afraid now. And I can see everything from up here. Just this vast landscape. All black. All different shades of black. Black has different shades. Did you know that? Oh god. Oh, the wind is stronger up here, but it's so still. Nothing's touching me. Yeah. Hey, you down there. Look at me. Look what I can do. Woo! Yeah. Wow, that light is so bright. It's like a huge red star right above me. You know, my heights always scared me. I'll tell you. It wasn't that I thought I was gonna fall. It's that I thought I was gonna jump. I wasn't just scared of dying. I was scared of the moments in between. The few seconds when you realize what's gonna happen to you, and you realize that there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And you know, that's not where I am anymore. Like I said, I'm free, right? Okay, so here we go. I did it. I jumped. Oh, God. Oh, let me tell you. That really hurt. Like, just for a fraction of a second, but oh my God, that hurt. I would be very, very surprised if the phone survived impact. Doesn't matter, though. Seems fine now. I mean, if I can come back, totally fine. Why can't the phone? That's convenient. Groundhog Day was a comedy, right? And there was that wonderful montage. You can get so blasé about suicide once you do it enough. So, here I am. I went all the way up. I came all the way back down. You know, there's really only one thing left for me to do. There's only one place left for me to go. There's where she was. There's where she went every day before she came back to me. There's what she was doing there. I don't know if I can get there. Maybe it's outside the boundaries of whatever my world is now. But if I can, I think I've got to try. Because if there are any more answers that I can find, I think they gotta be there. Hello, wonderful listeners. This is Sunny Moraine, the writer and narrator and producer of this podcast. Welcome to the season 1 finale. I'm sorry that this is, what is it, like a week late? I'm so sorry about that, you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I was at Confusion, and then I had some health stuff, and just a whole bunch of stuff happened. This has been a crazy-ass month, but here we are. Finale's done. It is shortly going to be in your ears. Well, you'll see. I don't think that this is going to necessarily satisfy everybody. It doesn't tie anything up in a neat little bow, but it does what I wanted to do, I think, which is to move the story forward. Because again, I fully intend to do season 2, and the story has to have some place to go. So hopefully you will agree that I have done that. Quick bit of housekeeping before we proceed. I have to thank once again all the supporters on Patreon and all the people who have given me a coffee in my Buy Me a Coffee thing. You've helped me keep this going. You've helped me justify the significant amount of time that I put into it. You've helped me just basically do anything, and I cannot thank you enough. Which leads me to the Gone Patreon is actually going to be shut down in February. It's not that it's not working. It's not that I don't want to keep something like it going. It's just that I actually have started up a general Sunny Moraine Patreon, and I think that it makes more sense to kind of fold the Gone one into that one. So if you want to keep supporting Gone, if you want to help me be able to do a second season, if you want to keep supporting me once I do a second season, and if you want to support the stuff that I do generally and also get a whole bunch of different goodies, expanding on what I've been trying to provide you with the Gone Patreon, then look to that. It is at patreon.com/dynamic symmetry, which is my kind of general internet handle. Check it out. Check out the rewards I'm offering. There are fiction snippets, there are audio snippets, there are previews of all kinds of stuff that I'm working on. There is even jewelry. Yes, actual physical jewelry that I make myself, just like I make everything else. So yeah, if you want to keep supporting me, shift your stuff over there. I will be shifting the current Gone content on the Patreon over there as well. So you will still have access to it. And obviously there will be more stuff to come. So, thank you again so much for listening. Thank you for supporting me. This has been successful beyond what I thought it would be. Your response has been amazing. You've helped me find the confidence to keep going. And I'm very excited about the future, even if I'm still not entirely sure what the future is going to be. If nothing else, I promise that there will not be a long Limetown-esque break. I swear to God that I will not be doing that. Okay, so, for one final time in this season, let me take you into the darkness. You know, all that time that I never got to see this place, I never really thought about it that much. You know, I never really tried to imagine it. If I had tried, this is probably what I would have come up with. I mean, it's just the most nondescript thing. It looks modern, I guess. It looks kind of flashy. There's a lot of glass. There's a lot of gleaming, not chrome, but I guess kind of chrome aesthetic. I don't know, I'm fucking shit at describing things. I'm not sure why I'm describing it, actually. There's a nice big lobby, there's a reception desk, there are some very official looking doors that I probably wouldn't be able to get through without some kind of a key card or something. I didn't think I'd be able to get in here. I mean, I I don't know what I thought. Maybe I thought I could break in or something. But the door was just unlocked. I just opened it and I walked inside. It's dark, of course, but it's that kind of darkness that I talked about before. It's a darkness that isn't really dark. I can't see everything, but I can see a few feet ahead of me. Enough to walk around, enough to get a kind of a sense of the space I'm standing in. But it's something else too. It's so weird. It's like when I walk around, when I move, I mean, it's like I'm getting a sense of things from the sound. Human beings can't do that, right? We don't have sonar ability, but that's kind of what it's like. It's so fucking weird. It's not the weirdest thing so far, but yeah. So where do I go from here? Oh, there's a directory on the wall over there. Go take a look. Okay, fuck, if I just knew what department she was in. I don't even know what she used to do. Shit, I guess maybe I'll just go floor by floor. How would I even know what office is hers? Unless there's door plaques, maybe. That's assuming I can even get through those doors. That's assuming I can get in anywhere. Well, okay. I guess really the only way to know is just to give it all a try. I have to try. I can't turn around and leave now. I can't just stand here either. I don't have any other choice. There's nothing else for me to do, but it's not just that. I'm supposed to be here. That sounds so ridiculous, but I really feel like I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be finding something. I'm supposed to be seeing something. I don't know. Anyway. Well, the doors were unlocked, of course. And the elevator is also working, of course. There's no lights, but there's definitely still power. And the buttons still light up. Go figure. Anyway, I've been up 2 floors now, 2 floors above the ground floor, and I'm on the 3rd floor, and I did finally find her office. I'm standing in it right now. It's a corner office. Yeah, she always did like bright rooms. Nice big windows. Everything's white. It's cluttered. I always hated clutter. No, but of course this is her space, so she'd keep it how she wanted. There's books everywhere, there's papers everywhere. Knowing her, she'd be able to find anything, but I had no idea, so just like with the floors, I started looking through everything. There's one thing I didn't have to look for, actually. It's just a single sheet of paper. Well, here. Non-existent listener who will never hear this because you don't exist. Sweetheart. I always hated when she called me sweetheart. I don't know why, I just fucking hated it. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for what's about to happen. I don't even know what it is, I just know something isn't right, and I have this feeling that I'm not coming home tonight. Maybe I should be running out the door right now, coming back to you, but part of me was always a coward, more than you ever knew. I'm not sure whether or not I should be grateful for this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being stupid. I'm nervous about something big like anyone would be, as big as this is, and in a few hours I'll be knocking back glasses of champagne with everyone else and thinking about the bonus I'll be getting once we make all the deals we're going to make. Maybe I'll be able to rip this up and throw it in the trash, and if I ever think about it again, I'll laugh at what an idiot I was for worrying so much about nothing at all. But I can't stop thinking about what if. What if I'm not wrong? What if all the warning bells have been going off in my head for weeks now were things I should have been listening to? What if I should have done more to stop this, or at least install more fail-safes than I did? What if I should have been less of a coward and more afraid? And here, I keep thinking about all the other places like ours, the labs with which we'll be moving in perfect sync. A network, a spider web of potentially catastrophic change. Is there someone like me in any of them? Someone with reservations, someone who suspects that something isn't right? I don't know. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Either way, it's not something you're going to see. It's just that I'm running out of time, and I'm reaching for anything that and that's where it stops. Just like, clearly she was interrupted in the middle of a sentence. So by what? Somebody come in and grab her? Want to talk to her? Drag her out of here? That thing that was about to happen that she seemed like she was so freaked out about? Or did something else happen? Did something else cut her off? The letter isn't the only thing in here that grabbed me right away. There's a couple of other things. There's her whiteboard. I didn't know she had a whiteboard, but fucking course she has a whiteboard. And there's more of those equations all over it. Scribbled. Numbers on top of numbers. It's utter chaos. Again, it's like her office. She probably could have picked it all apart without any trouble, but I can't make heads or tails of it, obviously. But it's just, God, everything is there. Everything I need to know is right there. What they did. I mean, I'm sure now. This isn't really an answer, but it is. They did something. They did something, and it broke everything. What the fuck was it? What do you do? What do you do to break the world? It's not the only answer either. She did want to tell me. She knew something was wrong, and she wanted to tell me. She wasn't hiding it because she thought that I was some kind of idiot, and she wasn't hiding it because she didn't care. She was hiding it because she cared. And she was hiding it because she was a fucking coward. I don't know if I forgive her or not. I want to. Even if it doesn't matter, I would really like to forgive her for this. Shit. She did try to tell me. She tried to try. She was scared too. Maybe she was just as scared as I've been. Maybe more because she had a better sense of what was coming. Maybe less because she had a better sense of what was coming. Doesn't explain why it's just me, though. Doesn't explain why, if everybody else got taken or annihilated or whatever happened, doesn't explain why I was spared, does it? Okay, well, I didn't really know where to go from here, but in the pile of papers I did find something else, and it might mean nothing, and it might not get me anywhere, and I might not even be able to get into it, but I've been able to get into everything so far. And again, it's like I'm supposed to find this stuff. There's a requisition form for some kind of equipment. I don't understand what any of it is, but I do understand a couple things. I understand where it's requisitioned for, whatever it is. The ground floor is not where this place stops. In terms of downward direction, there's a number of basement levels. And they're not just storage. There's labs down there. Up here, it seems like it's all offices. This place is only 4 stories high, but down there, it seems like that might be where the real magic was happening. This is level D. So if I can go up, stands to reason I can probably go down. Alright, so Going down to level Okay. Well, this is a very interesting development, isn't it? You know what this thing could really use is some elevator music. That would be super appropriate right now, wouldn't it? Alright, so my phone hasn't made that noise again since then. It hasn't picked up whatever signal is flying around in the air. It's a long way down. This thing is not moving very fast. Maybe that's good. Maybe that gives me some time to prepare myself for whatever's down here. What if nothing is down here? What if nothing is on any of these floors? What if I found everything that there is to find here? I mean, that's a possibility. I know it. I know it is. Okay. Well, this is very uninteresting. It's just a hall. Some doors on either side. It's very utilitarian. There's nothing fancy or science-y about it. It's just a hallway. Okay, well, there are doors on the far end, and that's makes sense that, you know, if this was a movie, that's where I'd be headed. So here we go. And of course, when I try to open a door, it is going to open. Oh my fucking god. Oh, okay, I wanted light, but I did not want it this bright. Ow, fuck. Oh. Well, hello there. Hi. We were wondering if you would come. Why? What are you? You've been watching me? Are you one of them? Are you them? Yes. And no. It shouldn't surprise you to hear that it's more complicated than that. Exactly what did you think you'd find here, anyway? Answers? Honestly, I was kind of hoping, yeah. So what would you like to hear? What form did you think they would come in? That there would be some kind of epic final showdown, and we would explain everything as we prepared to destroy you? Do you want to destroy me? No. We don't want to destroy anything. We never did. You, the ones like you, they were the ones who destroyed. They tore down the barriers. They swelled and expanded until it all burst. They unraveled, untied what never should have been untied. They reordered, and a change of order is always destructive. Are you doing this? Did you do this? Again, you can't possibly think it's that simple. If we could do this whenever we wanted, why did we wait until now? What's this? What the fuck did you do? You don't want to give me a fuck ton of answers. You don't want to lay it all out for me. Fine, whatever, but tell me that much. Where is everyone? Where did the light go? What the fuck is happening? Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Things fall apart sometimes, and then sometimes someone takes things apart. Pitiful little minds, unable to see what they were really doing, playing with exotic quantum fire, singing a song they couldn't possibly comprehend. And now here you stand, another little mind, all alone, isolated, solitary. Why are you so angry at us? Why aren't you angry at them? Just tell me what happened. Please. Just tell me where they all are. Just tell me where she is.
We can't answer that for you. Not as you are now.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You could come to us. You could step across the breach through the tear. You see how much light we have. You could have that light too, and you would never, ever be alone.
And what do you get out of that?
What was done has rendered us fragmentary. We are not whole. At the moment of wave function collapse, we exploded outward in all directions. Every particle into every particle crossed more dimensions than we have ever touched. Do you see? We are in everything. We are of everything. Except you. And we don't know why. Come be with us. Be with me. And we'll know. We'll understand. And so will you.
Are they with you? Is she with you? Is that where everyone went?
Come here and see. What exactly are you clinging to? Twice now you've given it all up of your own free will. So why hold on to it now? What exactly do you have left to lose?
I've got me. No fucking way. Fuck you.
As if it mattered. As we said, we're everywhere. We're in everything. We gave you a chance to make the choice yourself. Come here. Now.
Oh my god. I'm outside. I'm standing right outside. I don't remember how I got here. I'm just here. I'm here. And there's light. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. The sun is going down. This is the last one. Something almost happened. Something was almost fixed. And this is the last one. Just a glimpse. Something broke open. And it's closing again. I don't know how I know that. I just do. I should be feeling more than I'm feeling. I should be feeling more of anything. Everything. Shit. It's like none of it ever happened at all. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I never went in there. Maybe I made this up just because I wanted something like it. I wanted something like an answer. Oh, okay. Well, there's still some light. I'm gonna chase it. So I drove. I drove for hours. Hours. In a single direction. I didn't end up back at the building. I didn't end up back at my driveway. I just drove. Something changed. Something opened up. It's dark now, but something was put right. Maybe. Somehow I got given a chance by someone, something. I've come this far. There are other places like that one. Don't know how many, don't know where they are. But they're somewhere. If I can find them too, maybe. Oh. That's all I got. Alright, non-existent person who will never hear this because you don't exist. Road trip.